Hey everyone, it's Nick Valenti with NJ Valenti Art, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to vector palm trees in Affinity Designer. This is actually an excerpt from my 80s Sunset Drive step-by-step tutorial, which I will link in the description below. Let's check it out. Okay, so I'm going to create a new document to go ahead and create the palm trees. I'm going to come under New, and I'll use the social media square post like we have been using in previous videos. I'll change this to 300 dpi. You can use whatever size document you'd like. We'll just be creating the palm trees, and then you'll be able to export them and copy them out of this document to whatever image you may be working on. Select the pen tool, and I'm going to go ahead and click, drag and pull up. I want a nice curve. And I could go ahead and either double click to close this and end it, or hit escape. And I'm going to keep the stroke, and I'm just going to up the stroke. We'll go to 16. And then looking at the caps here, we'll go ahead and create a square cap. And then under layer at the top, we'll come down to expand stroke. And that now turns the stroke into a fill. Which we'll just move this over just a bit. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add a little extra detail to the outside of the tree itself. You can go ahead and leave it smooth and flat like this. If not, we're going to come in here and just click. I'm just going to create a point. We do have to come back up to our stroke menu here, and we'll lower that stroke. We can change it back to a round cap. Down here like that. And I want to close this shape off. So I want a nice fairly triangular shape like that. And I'll come in here and I want to switch the stroke to fill. So I'll click this arrow here. I'm going to drag it in just a bit. Now I'll hold Alt to duplicate it and bring it over to the other side. And selecting both of them, I'll Alt and drag again. Bring them a little further up. I want them to be offset like this. And then we can go ahead and Alt and drag again to duplicate. I'll come up here and click Flip Horizontal. Just give us a little variety. And we'll go ahead and line those shapes up just like that. Alt and drag. I'll pull these up a little bit further. I'm going to just rotate them a bit. I can always take this one and click Flip Horizontal there. And create a little bit more of a spike on that side. Alt again, selecting both shapes. And we're just going to work our way up the palm tree, rotating as we need. We'll rotate just like that. That should give us enough because we're going to put the actual leaves of the palm tree here. So now I can go ahead, with my move tool selected, I can go ahead and just click and drag across all of the shapes. I'll come up to our Boolean options and click Add. Now we've got one shape here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and just drag this off to the side. Now I'm going to go ahead and create the actual palm leaves themselves. So I will select our pen tool. I will click, and a short distance away, not too far. If the longer you make it, the skinnier the palm leaf will be. So we want to stay fairly close to our initial point. I'll click and drag again. I'll create that nice curved shape there. I'm going to give it a nice curve. I'll go ahead and click on this to end that. And we'll come back to our original point here. The circle below the pen tool shows that by clicking on it, we'll close this shape. And we'll create a fairly subtle, but still that's a slight curve there. And for our fill, I will select black. And with that shape still selected, I'm going to come in here to our knife tool. I'm going to create small, thin little triangular cutouts. So we'll just work our way across the bottom. And then on the other side as well. These I want to make a little bit smaller. And I also want to stagger them between the ones I've already made. So nice small little triangles. Now at the top here, we can come down and we can hold Shift to select the curves we don't want and delete. This is the main shape that we want to keep, so we'll click under that one, selecting that, and coming down to the bottom of those curves, we'll hit delete again. Now with our move tool, and that shape selected, we can go ahead and drag it over to our palm tree, and we can go ahead and resize this a bit. I'll go ahead and hold Alt to duplicate that and drag this one up more, make that one a little bit larger. Now I do want to go ahead and with the move tool selected, select all of these shapes and drag them towards the middle of our canvas. That way we have a little more room. And selecting top front palm leaf again, we'll go ahead and duplicate it by holding Alt and make this one a little bit smaller. I'll select this one, Alt, we'll rotate it and make this one a little bit smaller here. Now with our move tool, I could select all of these at the top. We'll leave the tree itself. I'll hold Alt and drag to duplicate, and I will flip horizontal, and we can rotate all of these and line them up just in there. With the move tool again, I could select all of the leaves. I can make them just a little shorter, can even rotate them just a bit. So something like that. Now I want to go ahead and create some grass at the bottom as well. So what I'll go ahead and do for that is I'll grab our pen tool. I will click, drag and create a nice curve. I will click on that to close it off. We'll come back down here. We'll create nice little curves like this just by pointing and clicking. And if you want a sharp edge, you could just click to close. We'll drag down here, close that off, and connect it with our first one here. And for the fill color, we'll go ahead and select the black. The move tool, I'm going to go ahead and hit Alt and drag. I want to flip horizontal at the top. I'll crunch this one up a little bit just to change it a little. I want to select both of these shapes. Make them just a tad smaller, just like that. And now what we could go ahead and do with the move tool is I want to select, I'm actually going to make these leaves just a hair smaller. So I want to select the top leaves and holding Control and Shift to scale them proportionally. I'm going to downsize them just a little bit. And now with the move tool, I'm going to select the leaves, the tree, and our grass shapes. And in the Boolean options, I will click Add to make one shape. I'll hold Alt to duplicate it and flip horizontal. I'm going to line these up here at the bottom, and holding Shift, I want to make this one a tad smaller. We can adjust these a little bit. They don't have to line up with the grass perfectly at the bottom, but something like that. And either by using our move tool and selecting them all here, or by coming over to our layers panel, selecting the top one and hitting Control to select the bottom one. I do want to go ahead again and hit our Add in the Boolean options to create one shape for both of these palm trees. Now with the palm trees created, we'd simply be able to select them and then copy and paste them into whatever other document or image we might be working on. You could join me on Patreon, where for $5 a month you'll have access to vector assets like these and more. I'll leave a link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this quick step-by-step tutorial. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss any new tutorials. Until next time.